Hey, what's happening guys? It's Nagpal for iGyaan, and today we're going to be looking at the new Sony Xperia T3. Now this phone has just recently been launched in India and it's available for a price of around 25 to 27,000 rupees depending on where you buy it from, and you have a lot of online offers going on, so you can get it for the cheap if you do a bit of searching around. Now this phone is a revision to their lineup of Xperia devices. And it does feature some of the similar specifications, and it's one of the slimmest phones in that price category. It's only 7mm in terms of thickness. It's not the thinnest phone in the world, and we already checked that out. It's only 5.55mm, so this is definitely much more thicker than that. But this does run a Qualcomm chipset on the inside, which is fantastic. And let's go ahead and take a look at what all is inside the box. So inside the box of the Xperia T3, you will get the device itself, a charger, a USB cable, a couple of warranty certificates and some user documentation, and a pretty generic looking headset. Now hopefully this is exactly what the retail box looks like, but if you have something different, good for you, because we're really not happy with the quality of the earphones provided inside the box, and they seem to be very average. If we talk about specifications on this device, it's running Android 4.4.2 KitKat out of the box. It comes with a Qualcomm MSM 89282 Snapdragon 400 chipset, which is running on quad cores at 1.4 GHz. You also have the Adreno 305 GPU. You have a 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB of internal storage, and you do have micro SD card support up to 32 GB. If you do a quick rundown of the device, over at the front, you will see the front-facing camera, which is a measly 1.1 megapixel camera, which will not compare with many of the other devices available in this price bracket, some of which offer upwards of 5 megapixels on the front. The front also only does 720p, so that is again a disappointment. As far as the display is concerned, the front has a IPS LCD display, which is a 5.3-inch 1280 by 720p display, so it's not even a full HD display, and it accepts only 4-finger input, which is again a slight disappointment for a lot of people in this category. Looking at devices which offer up to 10-point multi-touch and 1080p displays, this seems to be slightly lower for the price bracket. You'll see that the touch capacitive buttons are within the display, so you have nothing but a big fat lip at the bottom of the device, which essentially does not have any function whatsoever. If you look at the bottom edge, you'll see a microphone along with a port, which appears to be for a lanyard if anybody still uses those. On the right side is the main camera button, so with this you can launch the camera. You also have the volume rockers and the power button placed right where you would put your thumb, so easy for some and possibly irritating for some. On the top you'll see the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the left is the micro USB charging and data syncing port, and on the back is the 8-megapixel camera along with LED flash and a secondary noise cancellation microphone, which will also be used for the main mic in case you're doing video recording, which it does at 1080p at 30 frames per second. You'll also see the NFC logo, which means that this device does have NFC capabilities. You have a nice Sony logo, which is sort of metallic and placed on top of this sort of rough to touch gradient or sort of distressed back panel, which feels really amazing in the hand. It gives it a lot of grip and feels really soft to touch. It's pretty unique, the kind of material they've used for the back. This attracts a lot of dust and grime, and you will not be happy with that after some time, but it feels really awesome nonetheless. On the bottom you'll see the Xperia logo along with the loudspeaker, which is fairly decent but not the loudest. We've seen, again in this price category, we've seen much louder speakers, much better quality overall outlooks. So let's talk about the interface. It's very Timescape like, although Sony doesn't call it that anymore. But it is very Timescape like, more or less identical to the previous generation of Timescape user interfaces. You have a nice weather widget powered by AccuWeather. The home screen panel is pretty similar, and you can pinch out to quickly access various home screens, ads, widgets, apps, wallpapers and themes. And of course you can customize the overall outlook of the device using that. As far as the keyboard is concerned, again you have the Sony keyboard, which can be customized as per your requirement. You can personalize it. You can change the background color. You can also have things auto-corrected or not. All those kind of things can be done on the Xperia keyboard. It allows you to choose from a bunch of languages. You also have voice typing, smileys, etc. That can be done. And you also have continuous input, which allows you to sort of type without lifting your finger from the screen, almost like swipe. The user interface is more or less identical to many of the Xperia devices you would have seen on the past. If you pull down from the top, you'll see a notification panel, and if you swipe to the right of that, you'll see quick settings that will give you quick toggles that you can edit, customize, and you can also jump into settings directly from here. Like I said, the device is running Android 4.4.2 out of the box, and hopefully you'll see an update to Android L. Although the hardware does support it, we don't know if Sony will. The device seems pretty bare bones and does a decent job of connecting to the internet. Browser is fast and responsive. You do get Google Chrome out of the box, so it loads up our website without any issues fairly quickly, and we are pretty happy with the overall performance of that on this device. As far as videos are concerned, it plays back videos without any issues. We saw great video playback, excellent viewing angles, and audio is pretty decent as well. Although I would love to see better sounding speakers, but these are pretty loud, to be quite honest. And you do get a bunch of filters and effects that you can add to your videos as well. So that's thanks to the new Sony camera application, which I'll also show you right now. So the camera application allows you to get some of the features from higher end Xperia devices, including time shift burst and social live. You also get augmented reality effects or AR effects. Social live lets you stream your videos directly to Facebook, so that's good. You also have superior auto mode, which automatically sets the tone for your videos and photographs. And of course you can go into manual mode, which lets you control a lot more, but it's not completely manual. And it does not let you control things like aperture and shutter speed, although it does allow you a lot more flexibility over the auto mode. So that's a quick look at this thin and light, so to speak, Xperia T3. Although for the price, we see a lot more devices in this price bracket beating this device. This seems to be really well made and a premium looker nonetheless. And the name of Sony goes behind it, and it sort of gives you that reassurance that the product has been made with some sort of background checks and quality and precision in mind. Although you do get a lot more options, and of course the Nexus being one of the best options in this price bracket, offering you a lot more for the same price. This one does have slightly less capabilities compared to many of the other devices in this price bracket, but it does give you another option as well. So we'll come back with a full review. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked what we did, and be sure to check us out on iGyaan.in. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaanTV for iGyaan Networks. This has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.